Like me, can't fuck with a woman like me. Let it slice in your sugar iced tea. Feels good when you let it. Hey, carefree.
Hey, what is going on, y'all? Welcome to another episode of Dreams Roller Soul. I am back with a new video, blessing y'all with R&B the right way, the authentic way. As y'all can see, I came with Kaytranada and Joyce Rice with Ice T. Like, this joint is my favorite joint right now. It's such a bop, you know what I'm saying? Coming in there with a nice little two-step. Listen, Kaytranada's production is nothing to play with. Y'all need to check it out. This joint with Joyce Rice and Kaytranada is all on streaming platforms. This is my favorite song right now of 2022. Y'all really need to check it and all that good stuff. But y'all see what the title is. Y'all know what it is. It's Current R&B Bangers. Now, if you're new to Dreams World of Soul, Current R&B Bangers is all about showing the R&B is alive and well and it ain't going nowhere. But, you know, back in 2010, I saw that R&B was kind of like taking a dip when it came to mainstream. So I was like, instead of me on Twitter talking so much and talking, you know, what R&B needs to do, I said, look, let me create something so maybe it can help R&B. So that's why I created Current R&B Bangers, and it just goes to show, you know, that, I love R&B so much. Like, I live, I breathe all this stuff, you know what I mean? So I was like, you know what, I'm going to give y'all 4 to 6 joints every week, you know what I'm saying? But I've been doing it every 2 weeks, you know what I'm saying? Just to show y'all that R&B is here and it ain't going nowhere, you know what I mean? But, I just love this, and I'm just loving the fact that Current R&B Bangers is what it is, y'all. I have been doing this for darn near 6 years, and it's crazy, you know what I'm saying? Getting the love and all that good stuff. So here we are, you know what I mean? But, we gonna get started because, again, I don't want to keep y'all too long, you know what I mean? I don't want to keep y'all too long. I want to get this, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to keep y'all too long, you know what I mean? So let's just get this started. So PJ Morton, because I got four joints for y'all this week, you know what I mean? So starting with PJ Morton, listen, this dude has been a favorite of mine since like 2017. It was so amazing that I actually did an interview with him back in 2017 when he came out with Gumbo. Shout out to my big bro Kill. We did this interview, and it was amazing. You know what I mean? We did this literally like a week after Gumbo came out because I was like talking about it on my Instagram, my Twitter, and all that, and my big bro Kill was like, yo, I need to listen to this album. When he did, and he contacted PJ's manager and all that, and we did a interview with him. And y'all, I'm gonna put it in the more info box so y'all can definitely check it out. But he has been like my favorite artist. He's Little Stevie, to be honest. You can definitely tell that he is definitely a Stevie fan. And I'm just, listen, he came with Gumbo, he came with Gumbo Unplugged, he came with his Christmas album, he came with Paul, and then he did his gospel album, you know what I mean? And then now we got the new album, which is Watch the Sun. And let me tell you, I'm just a fan of PJ. Like, he's been representing R&B. I need to see him live, to be honest with you. I haven't not saw him live yet, and I need to see him live. But he came out with Watch the Sun, and the first single he came with was what is it? Please don't go away. Yes, Please Don't Go Away, and I was such a fan of that, and I was like, I love it, you know what I mean? And then he came with My Peace with him and JoJo. Now, him and JoJo has that perfect chemistry because, you know, they won a Grammy for their first duet that they did, but JoJo didn't get the Grammy for it, but the song got for it, you know what I mean? But now with My Peace with him and PJ and JoJo and Mr. Talkbox, and she actually got writing credit on this. So I hope this song gets, you know, nominated for a Grammy so JoJo can get, you know, this Grammy for this, because it got for best song with her and PJ with Say So, but she didn't get anything for it because she didn't write for it. But this song, hopefully she can get it for it, because this joint, My Peace, we needed this record right now, especially the space that we're in with COVID and everything like that. Like, your peace, you need to protect your peace. And this song right here was like completely it, you know what I mean? But he came out with his album, what was it? Shoot, I'm sorry. Let me take a sec. Watch the Sun. That was it. Watch the Sun. And I got a couple of favorites. My favorite is Big Mistake, Watch the Sun, My Peace, Still Believe with Jill Scott and Alex Isley, who I love so much. Shout out to my big bro Vern. We love Alex Isley. Like, we go back and forth with her. Like, we send stuff back and forth about her. And for PJ Morton to work with her was so amazing. And On My Way with him and El DeBarge, which they perform on Kelly Clarkson's show, which I love so much. And the last joint, the Better Benediction, which he did with Gene, what was his name? Jakari and Tim Rogers and what is his name? Darrell Walls. And let me tell you something. To have all those men on a record singing, it's like a relief, because we don't have that now. You know what I mean? You can't get a record where you got all these guys on there that's singing on there, and we don't have that. And for PJ to do that, it was so dope. I mean, literally, I was cleaning the house today, and I had my red cup, and I felt the spirit. And the song is called The Better Benediction, and I was in it. You know what I mean? So it's such a dope joint. But you know what's so crazy? I love that PJ said with this album, he is a soul artist. And I agree with that, because he can do any type of music, gospel, country, R&B, pop, whatever, and you feel the soul in the music. And when you listen to this album, Watch the Sun, you can definitely understand that. You know what I mean? But the song that I kept kind of replaying a lot was So Lonely with him and Wale. And I was like, yo, this song is it. Like, this is a banger, and we're going into the summer. And I was like, yo, this joint is it. You know what I mean? So I was like, if I got to play a song over and over again, I was like, yes, this is the joint for current R&B bangers. So honestly, coming at the first joint of current R&B bangers is coming from PJ Morton, and this joint is with him and Wale, and this song is called So Lonely, and it's a banger. And I was like, I'm definitely going to talk about this joint, so here we go.
Are we meant to be? 'Cause I'm so lonely, without you, girl, yeah. I'm so lonely, yeah, without you, girl.
Hey!
Tell me what I gotta do.
Woo! Y'all hear them horns? Y'all hear them horns? Now y'all know with R&B raps, I am a horn lover. And you know what I'm saying? And PJ brought those horns in, you know what I'm saying? I feel like if I'm in New Orleans, I can get that. You know how they do that joint? When they walking down the street and they just rocking. Hey! And beating their feet like that. What? This joint is it. Like, all I gotta say is PJ Morton, in my opinion, is Little Stevie, and you can tell he is influenced by it. Just look at the cover of Watch the Sun of this new album. It's definitely the cover of Innovisions by Stevie Wonder. Absolutely. Yo, I love this album. Please support PJ Morton. Please, please, please. This dude is a real artist. He's just freaking amazing. I cannot wait to see this dude live. He is so dope. So, yo, support Watch the Sun, and the first joint on current R&B bangers is coming from PJ Morton, and this joint is I'm so lonely, yeah, without you, girl. Yes, God. All right, so keeping this going, because again, I don't want to keep y'all too long. My boy Siergio, who I have talked about on here so many times. So if you don't know about Siergio, he's from Chicago, but he went to Clark Atlanta and got his degree. He is an alpha, and but he lives in LA right now. And you know, I got into Siergio when he did his record On My Way, and when I heard the record, I was like, yo, I like this. I like the way he's singing. I like the way he riding this beat. You know what I mean? And then I listened to his album, This Will Hurt, and it really was my favorite album of 2018. Like, I talked about so many songs, like Can't Breathe. Can't Breathe, listen, if you do not know about a feeling of a record, Can't Breathe is it. You know what I'm saying? Songs like Think of Me and Waiting, like, listen, This Will Hurt is such a dope album, and that's why it was my favorite of 2018. And like after that, it was like I was like bothering Siergio. Like after like 2 years, I was like, yo, when we get a new album? When we get a new album? And he was like, bro, it's coming, it's coming. And finally, he gave us a single, Take You Out, which I talked about here on Current R&B Bangers, which was a banger. You know what I mean? Which was, so dope. And then 2 weeks after that, he gave us a joint called Complicated, which you got when you previewed his new album, which is entitled Before It's Too Late. And Complicated, I talked about here on Current R&B Bangers, and I loved it. So I was so hyped for this album to come out. So he did this interview with my family, who I love to death, the Psyce Podcast. I'm talking about Steph and Muse, and they interviewed Siergio, and he kind of got you hyped for what the album was going to be about. Like, it's very personal and very freeing, and it was just like such a dope interview. And I'm gonna put that in the more info box so y'all can check that out, because the Psyche Podcast, I love them. I talked about them a lot on Current R&B Bangers, and they just dope. You know what I mean? Because they are just R&B lovers. You know what I mean? And with Siergio on there, and they was just kicking. It was such a great show. But I'm gonna put that in the more info box. But again, the album is entitled Before It's Too Late, and like I said, it has like a freedom to it. You know what I mean? Because I get a little worried, especially after an album that I love, which This Will Hurt. I was like, I'm a little worried about how this album is going to go. And let me tell you something. After I listened to it, I loved it. Especially after he was on the Psyche Podcast and kind of giving us a preview of what the album was going to be about. You know what I mean? And joints like Lie to Me. Let me tell you something. Lie to Me, Siergio is singing his ass off on that record. Like, he has that growl in it, which I love, and it's raw. You know what I mean? And it's in there. And when he did that, I was like, whoa. Let me get my life together. Like, I was like, oh my God. Like, even though I know he can sing his face off, and like songs like Can't Breathe or the album called This Will Hurt, it was like, oh my God, like he's giving me, because I want that type of song that he gave me with Can't Breathe. And I was telling him, bro, give me a song like that. I want that. And with a song like Lie to Me, you can tell like he's giving you that type of joint. You know what I mean? But again, it's like a freedom of this album. You know what I mean? But my favorites on this album is Energy. He opened with the album as like Energy. I'm giving you the energy. I'm letting you know what it is. You know what I mean? Eden, which is a dope record. Leave Him, which he's been talking about a lot in interviews. He was like, a lot of people is going to like that, and I do. Close On, you might think it's a sexual song, but if you listen to the lyrics, he's letting you know, like, Close On is the type of record that, you know, we are free and we're honest with our clothes off. And when we put on our clothes on, it feels like the realness is gone. You know what I mean? And then another song, a trap song, which he was like, okay, good. We might like this trap stuff, but why we got to get it all the time? You know what I mean? And he talked about it in this joint. And Speechless. Let me tell you something. Speechless, him, Speechless, him, and Homegirl, Joel, if I'm not mistaken, they are going back and forth on this record. Let me tell you something. And the way they vocalizing on the end of the record was freaking epic. I was like, wow. You know what I mean? So that was definitely a favorite of mine. But the song that I kept playing over and over and over again was Ecstasy. And I was just like, he talked about that record, but I was just like, wow. When I heard this record, I was like, yeah. A song that I gotta keep playing over and over and over again. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna talk about this on Current R&B Bangers. So this is the second joint. This is coming from my boy Siergio, and this joint is entitled Ecstasy. And let me tell you something. If you don't like the joint, I don't know what to say. I mean, it's a smooth record. He's going in like that. And the one part that I do like, he said he hears every word that your body says. That's some sexual shit. Like, Siergio knows what he's doing with these records. Like, he knows he has to talk to the females. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't have guys now. It's all about being hard and all that. Come on, talk to the females. Be vulnerable. And this joint, Ecstasy, he's being very vulnerable. And I was like, yes, I will talk about this joint. So the second joint of current R&B bangers is coming from Siergio. And this joint is entitled Ecstasy. And here we go. It goes a little something like this.
I wanna take you away. Can you be my guide, baby? Show me the way. Lead me to ecstasy. Let's get away. Let's go to all the places.
Hey, hey.
Ecstasy, ecstasy.
Listen, did y'all hear what he said? I'm gonna wind that back right quick. Just listen to what he said.
Show me the way. Lead me to ecstasy. Let's get away.
Let's go.
All the places.
Hey.
Lead me to ecstasy, ecstasy.
Listen, he sounds so smooth, but he's giving you the sexual vibes. Like, he's saying, like, let's go to ecstasy. You know what I mean? Like, this album is you can ride in your car with the windows down. It's a summer day and just vibe to it. You know what I mean? And that's what I love about this album. Like, y'all, please support my boy Siergio. Like, he's dope as hell. He deserves all the success, everything like that, because this dude really sings and he really loves this music thing. So the second joint of current R&B bangers is coming from Siergio, and this joint is entitled Ecstasy from his album Before It's Too Late. Okay, so going into the next joint, Louis York, The Legends, Chloe Kelly and Chuck Harmony. Like, these two might be my favorite production songwriting team for the last 5 years, to be honest. You know what I mean? They have worked with everybody. They worked with Cassette Michelle, Mary J. Blige, Fantasia, Kelly Clarkson. Like, they have worked with so many people. But I've been a fan of them since their EP that they came out with in 2015, which was Masterpiece Theater, Act 1 in 2015. And then in 2016, they came out with Part 2. You know what I mean? But then they came out with their debut album, which was American Griots, which I have loved. I've talked about so many songs on this album on current R&B bangers. I talked about Velvet. I talked about How You Feel. I talked about I'm trying to come off the dome with it. Yeah, but I talked about so many songs on this album, for real. But I love this album so much that my brother Sin had got me the album on vinyl. That's how much he knows I love this album so much. But then after that, they gave us like 2 singles, which was Headphones and It Is What It Is, which I talked about here on current R&B bangers. But they released a new single, which is entitled Strawberry Skies. And let me tell you something. This song gave me the feeling of when I first heard How I Feel. And it just took me somewhere. It took me somewhere that I didn't want to come out of it. That's what this song did for me. Like, when I first heard it, I was just in a trance, and I was at work, and I was just so focused. Like, I literally was focused for like 2 hours on this record. That's how much this record really brought me in, and I was like, wow, this record is amazing and it's dope. And I was like, I'll be a fool not to talk about this record. And the way Claude is singing on it, and you know, Chuck is playing the piano. It's such a beautiful record. And I was like, I definitely have to talk about this record. So coming in at the third joint of current R&B bangers, this is Louis York, and this is Strawberry Skies. Here we go. I'm telling y'all gonna love this joint. Strawberry Yes. In a million years that I meet strawberry skies. Like, y'all, this record is amazing. It brings you in and you don't want to leave, to be honest with you. And Louis York, like, I love them. They are just amazing. They're that new soul. I know they call themselves the Weirdo Workshop. Shout out to my girls, the Shandellas. But this song is just amazing, y'all. It's so heartfelt. It's so beautiful. You know what I mean? And I really, really want y'all to support this record. It's all streaming platforms. The joint again is called Strawberry Skies, and you will like it and all that good stuff. So coming in the third joint of current R&B bangers is Strawberry Skies by Louis York. All right, so this last joint is from my boy Cedric Brazle, who I was introduced by his joint in 2018, which was Till the Morning. And then in 2019, he brought out his joint Body Heat, which I talked about here on Current R&B Bangers. I love that joint. He got a video out for it and all that good stuff. But finally in 2020, he brought out his EP entitled If I Knew Then, which I'm so thankful that he made me a part of what was it? Shoot, let me see it. He did a album listening party, and he invited me, and I was so thankful. You know what I mean? Because I'm just a fan of music, and for them to invite me, I just thought it was so good. You know what I mean? With joints like Mixed Feelings and Rather Die and Human. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to DeAndre and the whole Imperium family. You know what I mean? They gave me a shirt and all that good stuff, and they just so supportive. But I just want Cedric to win because this dude can sing, and you can tell he loves music so much. You know what I mean? And a song like this, I was like, he's done it again. And the song is entitled Product of Love, and I love it so much I've played it over and over and over again. And I'm such a fan of this record, and I know when you guys hear it, y'all gonna be a fan of the record too. So here's the fourth joint of current R&B bangers. This joint is entitled Product of Love, and here we go. It goes a little something like this. You guys will enjoy it.
Be the story of my life, help me rewrite it. Oh, I'm not a product of love. Never came this close but for once.
Hey!
Asking you to teach me to trust.
Come on. Woo! This joint is a bop, yo. When I heard it, I was like, yo, I love this joint. You know what I mean? Cedric, I want this dude to win. This dude can sing. You know, he has the passion for it and all that good stuff. I'm putting his stuff all in the more info box. I definitely want y'all to check him out. But this joint is entitled Product of Love. And the realest line of this record that it gets me is, if you gonna love me through the real shit. That's some real joint right there. If you gonna love me through the real shit, that's some real shit right there. You know what I mean? But y'all, again, Cedric is so dope. I'm gonna put y'all, put him in the more info box so y'all can definitely check him out because he is just so dope. But Product of Love is such a dope joint, and I definitely want y'all to support this. You know what I mean? But yes, look, y'all, I done gave y'all four joints this week that you're definitely gonna enjoy. PJ Morton was So Lonely from his Watch the Sun album, which definitely gives you Stevie Intervisions. Siergio with Ecstasy from his dope album Before It's Too Late. Louis York with Strawberry Sky, and Cedric Brazle with Product of Love. Listen, R&B is out here, y'all. Like, it's out here. Let's stop playing games. It ain't going nowhere. Mainstream might want it to, but it ain't going nowhere. You know what I mean? But before I get out of here, I want y'all to rock with the R&B Reps. You know what I'm saying? With this shirt, y'all can go to rnbreps.com for merchandise, all that good stuff. When y'all see this interview, we just did a dope show with Zoe from the Foreign Exchange, and we talked about Faith's debut. Oh my God, y'all gonna love it. I want y'all to tweet it, put it on your Instagram, all that good stuff, because we really get deep into this album. I really, really, really want y'all to share it, and you really, really will enjoy it. But again, y'all can get merchandise at R&BReps.com. Shout out to my sis, who I love so much, Nationally Elise. You know what I mean? My partner in crime. She is just the best. And to do this with her is just amazing. You know what I mean? But I done kept y'all a little too long, but y'all know I like to come in with a new joint, but I like to exit with a new joint, with a classic joint. This joint in 1998, this week, was #1 on the R&B charts, which happens to be the best joint of 1998, to be honest with you. And it's a classic. You know what I'm saying? I give it a lot, but this joint is so dope. And when I hear it, I just start dancing. And if you don't, then, you know, I don't know what to tell you. But this joint is so dope. So I hope to see y'all next week. And here we go.
Baby, when we're crying, oh yeah, I get so excited.
Ooh, how I like it. Child, when I can't fight it. Oh, you're dancing real close, but still real slow. You're making it hard for me. Baby, no more lying. I get so excited. Boo, how I like it. Child, but I can't fight it. Oh, you're dancing real close, but still real slow. You're making it hard for me. See y'all next week. Peace.